Hey there. So today I want to return to the wonderful world of entertainment. And my, what a wonderful world this has become. You're talking about entertainment to the nth degree. And you know, it didn't start off like that. Seeing somebody marauded against, seeing their career burn down, seeing the specter of Kick Vic, pull into the clown car and take off toward the big top, that was really, really frustrating. Most people within not just the community around anime, but people that have seen this happen before, to a lesser degree, mind you, but before, they looked at that and they said, this is wrong. So, seeing the way that it's going forward, seeing the people staring down the barrel of litigation, it's beautiful. Now, the thing we're going to be looking at today, it's going to show a few things. It's going to show hypocrisy. It's going to showcase deflection. It's going to show how people that are, again, staring down the barrel of litigation, those people, they want to tell you that they're not going to reap the whirlwind that they themselves have created. It's interesting, too. I've been looking at, this, and I've been thinking about two adages. I've been thinking about the sound of one hand clapping, for example. I talk about the socially transmitted disease, the current year clap, this sound that these people chase as they chase electronic version of it. With this and this, well, when they're out there, that sound, it's going to become not a clapping, but more of a banging your head, maybe on your stomach or chest, because the other hand, it's going to be trying to stave off litigation. Also, I think about that, if a tree falls in the woods and no one's around, does it make a sound? I think about that as someone like Jamie Marchi. If Jamie Marchi is screaming alone in her home, afraid of litigation, does that really transpire? Yes, it does. But anyway, let's get to this. So this starts out with her talking about being excited to go to Anime North, and someone brings up litigation. That's if you got off scot-free in court, which you likely won't. Now, of course, there's people out there that are going to say, "Oh, where's that case docket?" There isn't one, you say. Then you're just talking out your ass. Now, someone tells them, "Hey, go listen to Nick there." I don't listen to Nick shit pickle. He's not even representing Vic. No, if you actually listen to him, you would understand we've gone beyond that. We've gone beyond he's a YouTube lawyer. He's the blackface lawyer, which is going to come up. Yeah, we've gone on to face the beard and the 5 words heard round the world. Now, when you look, here's Jamie getting in on this, and she's going to go and try to deflect away to talk about blackfacing. And this is where deflection and hypocrisy come in. I enjoy pointing this stuff out, too, because you see that. You see not only the standard that is promoted to push away, but the standard that is promoted when you're one of us, because they're going to talk about Jamie, and they're going to talk about Jesse, that context for Jesse Pridemore. So you see the hashtag blackface lawyer, a black friend who agreed to a blackface joke. Yeah, try again. So, of course, we get into this. Oh, it doesn't matter. It's not excusable. It's terrible. Blackface is never okay. Somebody asks, since Jesse Pridemore did blackface too, do we get to call her a blackface cosplayer? Well, Jesse apologized for it, Jamie Marchi says, calling it the biggest mistake of her career. She does not excuse it in any way, shape, or form. If that guy doesn't feel like there's anything wrong with it, why would he care if anyone calls him hashtag blackface lawyer? 2 problems with that. Number 1, when you're talking about Pridemore actually said that it took her a long time to figure out that she wasn't the victim, and then to listen to other people. So no, she didn't initially apologize for anything. She says, looking back, it's a problem. But if you look at her own wording, she talks about being a victim there. Sounds like something you hear again and again when anyone faces blowback online. Any of these people, they're always victims. Doesn't matter. And then the blackface lawyer connotation. What exactly are you trying to say with that? See, that's the implication to it. Being called that, it's kind of funny the way that comes across. And he hasn't thrown a fit about it or anything like that. But, their connotation, they are trying to minimize who this person is. They're trying to add a qualifier. That's the game there. It's just like calling someone alt-right or racist or sexist or Nazi you're on. It adds a qualifier so you never get to what's going on. It's a form of deflection there. And again, it's also courting hypocrisy. Jamie has a point. Blackface is inexcusable, but like she said, Pridemore apologized for it. Okay, this person here, although this is the first time I've heard of the event, sorry for my ignorance. So, when you're talking about that, she apologized for it, I think she apologized for it. You don't know the context or anything like that. So somebody says, she's still considered the blackface cosplayer. So you don't understand the difference between apologizing for a behavior and making a change versus not apologizing and refusing to see how anyone would be offended. Why am I not surprised? So apologies matter now. That's really interesting too, because I seem to remember Vig trying to apologize if he ever offended people, trying to apologize for certain things out there. And well, I heard that if you have a quote unquote friend, you're going to bring up a black friend, for example, that doesn't play. Also, if you offend people, that doesn't play. So apologies, they matter, but only in specific contexts. Gotcha there. I don't feel offended. My black friends don't seem to feel offended when they say it. In fact, in their words, they said, we'll give him a pass. Well, my black friends don't give him a pass. They are offended. I am offended. Many, many people are offended by blackface. Oh man, I am offended. I am always offended. It's really, really interesting to see again how that it's a double standard highway. We can judge one person rolling through when you go up and you talk about looking like them, looking like a friend of theirs. They can dress up like that. But when you're talking about someone deciding to just cosplay as a character, darkening their skin for it, that's somehow different. It's different because I've always wondered too with that, since all of this is offensive, what about the cultural appropriation you would participate in? I'm sure that those characters you're going out and voicing, you're probably the wrong shade for them. Aren't you going out and white-facing those characters? Don't we need the white-face voice actors? Don't we need them to set aside their jobs and to perhaps have someone else that's more emblematic of what those characters represent? Or is that going too far too? Is that actually a double standard there? You're offended and we're supposed to care. Why? It seems every day you have less and less to argue. You and people who listen blindly to you keep trying to use that stupid picture to discredit him, and it's not even funny anymore. Oh, that projection is strong there. Yeah, terrible projection. Just because an old photo offends you doesn't mean you're justified in saying Nick Rekieta is lying and people shouldn't believe him. Well, he's saying I'm lying, and I know I'm telling the truth, which means he's lying. So I am, in fact, justified in saying he's lying, and people shouldn't believe him. The only difference there is that Nick Rekieta actually brought his friend on a stream, and they talked to him there. But semantics, right? It's all just a game of semantics. Fun times indeed. So what part of that does that have to do with him blackfacing? Sounds like you don't like having opposing views, and you will say anything or do anything or say anything to eliminate that view. There are numerous people you have blocked, and I know for a fact not all of them were harassment. Pretty much, and shamelessly too. We don't see your slanderous tactics. Why do you care so much if you think he's in the right to have worn blackface? It shouldn't bother him that I call him blackface lawyer because he's not ashamed of his behavior. Are you ashamed of his behavior? Again, connotation. And this kind of stuff, it goes on. It goes on until she's like, oh man, now you're attacking me personally when the person brings this stuff up. So how long did it take your very few brain cells to come up with that reply? You're attacking me personally. You're giving away your angst. And you see how that goes. It becomes more and more of a pendulum shift away from what we were discussing. And it becomes more and more about Jamie going out and saying, oh, this is all about me. You're trying to pick on me. And then, she tries for that. Oh, man, it looked more like someone said brown face than black face. It just looked like he fell in shit to me. What's worse, black face lawyer or shit face lawyer? What's really bad about that is it sounds like Jamie is actually comparing people of color to to shit. Does that not sound like that? That is not acceptable, is it, Jamie? I mean, if we're playing the offense game here, when we're talking about that, he was dressing up like a friend. You even called him a blackface lawyer. So what are you trying to say with that? I mean, really, what are you trying to note with that? See, this kind of stuff here, the hypocrisy and the double standards, they keep rearing their heads. They keep showcasing. And of course, it's trying to deflect away from other things. It doesn't do a good job of deflection. I mean, the longer that Jamie goes on, the longer that Jamie continues this, the worse that it goes, the worse that it sounds. Like I say, blackface equaling, huh? I mean, what exactly are you trying to say there? Oh, terrible way. But again, current year and all, this person gets a pass. I'm sure, again, if you took that and you applied any of these statements to, say, Vic going out, or if I said this same thing, comparing that to, I don't know, another cosplayer out there that met a specific criteria, if I said that Jamie actually, she dressed in blackface, but then I started calling her that as a hashtag, how do you think that would go across? What kind of offense culture do you think that would bring out? See, that's the beauty of these double standards. Play the game long enough, win those stupid prizes. But anyhow, you tell me what you think. If you like this kind of content too, if you say to yourself, that umbrella guy, I love what you do, I love your channel. In fact, maybe we need to dress your channel up in a certain type of face, that way it can go out and play the game too. Oh, isn't that lovely? Isn't that nice? Maybe you should go and hit that subscribe, hit that daily bell for content. And also, if you want to go further, maybe you want to get, go from theatrical paint to tattooing the channel's face forever. Links in the description. Gotta fund those tattoos. Also, leave comments about this stuff. I'm wondering what you think about all of it. And again, I'm not saying I'm offended by any of this. I find this to be hilarious. I mean, when you go in, these people, they reveal themselves, their inner standards, the way that they actually don't have anything but double standards. They reveal that all the time, and I enjoy it. But leave your comments on that. And I want to end by saying, as always, unlike these folks who attack people that are part of their audience, I try not to ever do that. I try not to ever come across as unappreciative, because I know who makes these endeavors possible. You do. You go out, you make them. You're the ones that build up things that can also tear them down. Maybe these people need a refresher in that. You can take your help for whatever they do, for their endeavors, and move it away and move it towards something else. Move it towards something you like. I appreciate, like I said, you showing up too. I want to thank you at the end of this and say, you and I, we can do this again next time. Thanks.